Hi everyone, it's Stacy from PeonyLaneDesigns.com. Still recovering from the Ovid, but we're gonna get back to doing this tray. Remember the tray? We're gonna do that today.
Don't forget to click the subscribe button, comment down below, like this video, and click the bell icon to be notified.
I don't even know how to do my job anymore. I don't know how to do intros. I don't know how to do anything. So, for those of you who didn't see the tray, beginning of the tray, I painted it with silk all-in-one from Dixie Belle. And it's this giant tray, and I had to explain that a few years ago trays were really hot and then they stopped selling. But today we're going to decoupage using Redesign tissue paper. So I bought this pretty little tissue paper from Redesign. I have never used their product before. The thing that I noticed about it is that it's actually like a fibrous paper. So you can see, like, it looks like fabric. It feels like fabric. Feels like the webbing they put underneath a chair. You know that black webbing under the chair? That's what this feels like. It took me a while to figure out what it felt like. So I have actually already gone ahead and trimmed the piece that I'm going to use in the bottom of the tray. And I messed it up. Yes, I'm a professional. Yes, I still make mistakes. I am so bad with like straight edges, like so bad. And I was doing so good. Like I got 3 sides, man. I had to trim off the one side along a straight line because of where the design is. And I wanted it centered. And then I was trimming with a razor blade along the other edge. And can you see up here? My hand goes, and I'm disappointed in myself. So there will be like a little pink area here that is not covered by the decoupage design, but I'm hoping that it kind of blends in and you won't really notice it. Or that when I pull this flat, it will actually come up the side and I'll have to trim a little more off. Because with the wrinkle in the middle, you can see that it's, because the tissue paper was folded, it's not laying flat right now. I did my best to kind of flatten it out and try and trim it, but I feel like there might still be a little give there. Makes sense? At least I'm hoping. Fingers crossed. I'm going to grab my decoupage glue and get started with decoupaging the bottom. Now, okay, so y'all know the trick about put the decoupage glue down, let it dry, and then iron it on to eliminate bubbles. I want to try this without that trick because, stay with me on this, I want to see if this paper, because of that different texture, doesn't bubble up like normal tissue paper or napkins. So since it's the first time I'm trying it, we're going to try it like normal decoupage, like you're supposed to. Glue it, lay it down, and then move on from there. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to start at the flat edge, the one edge that is correct, and then work my way across the tray. So I'm going to work in sections. Why am I nervous? Because this was expensive paper, and if I screw it up, you know it's devilishly hard to fix a decoupage project gone wrong. And the last one I did on a giant door, we ended up having to shred the paper and make it a thing instead of a flat pattern. I don't want this to be a flat pattern. There's no hope for it. you just have to go in after it. I mean, there's no amount of wishing or hoping or crossing my fingers is going to change the fact that you just have to do it. So we're just going to do it. All right, I've got the first layer of glue down, and I'm going to try and line this up as perfectly as I can with the edge here. So I'm going to start in that corner. The glue definitely comes up through it. Yeah. Yeah, actually, it's not bubbling as like the paper does. Ooh. All right, now we're just going to continue on and hope it doesn't get sticky. Okay, I do like this paper. This is a really nice decoupage paper. There are some air bubbles up here. I can see like this little spot right here, which you can't see, is raised up. I'm gonna let it dry and see if it sucks down, because sometimes that happens. And then we're gonna see where we're at before putting the clear coat on top. But looks super pretty, you guys. I'm really enjoying this pattern. Okay, so it is dry and it has not laid down as well as I would like it to. So there's an air bubble here and here that I'm going to use my handy dandy little blade here. I'm going to cut into the paper. You don't go too deep. You just need to open up the paper. A little deeper than that. This paper's tougher than normal paper. We're going to pull up just enough of the edge here. You can see I can get the blade underneath there to get some glue under there. And that's for the large air bubbles. Let's do this. Come on. So see, that's a large air bubble there. You can see my finger underneath it. We're going to get glue under those spots. And then I think that's really the only large air pockets that I had. I don't know what that is. The wrinkles did not lay down like I would have liked them to. You can still very much see where the folds were and actually feel it. So that I'm not too happy about, because there's, I mean, you press it down, it didn't feel that sharp. Didn't feel that sharp. Let's get my glue open. Okay, I'm gonna get my brush. Get this worked under the paper. So hopefully I got enough glue under there. It's going to lay it down. Now we're going to coat the whole thing, which I'm going to be messy and pour. I'm going to pour some on the top because this is just a pain in the butt to do a huge surface like this and clear it. And I know there's like 100 million people screaming at me right now. You do it your way. I am now going to smooth this out as best I can. Clear this whole surface. I want a really thick coat over the top. Not pretty, but it's coated. Okay, guys, so the tray's dry. You can still actually see the creases in it. You see them? So I feel like, you know how it's got that texture of fabric? I feel like maybe it should have been ironed before I put it down. But now I've got, it's, okay, first of all, do you see the texture in there that's like the fibers that stood up or no? Can you hear them? So all those little hairs stood up and now they're sharp. Let me see if I can get you guys a different angle here. They're really hard to see here on the camera. You can see it down here. See them? And they're sharp. So I think we're gonna have to distress this a little bit and sand it down. I think I'm gonna have to sand it down and do like a distress finish on it because I don't see any other way to resolve the issues that I'm seeing here. And I'm sad because I don't want it to be, I didn't want to sand it, but got me some 220 grit. I'm not going to show you for a second. Let me see what happens. So I sanded off the sharp stuff and then sanded down the ridges where the folds were. So it feels better. I am going to glaze it. I am going to put a glaze over that. Can you see it? It's pretty. All right, I got this all shaken up. This is the Rust-Oleum glaze, aged glaze. I'm going to try that smoked one eventually, the gray one they've got. I have not tried it yet because I really liked this one. But now I want to try the other one, and every time I see it, I keep thinking, what if I don't like it? It's so expensive. It's a tiny brush. Yeah, I got my purdy 2-inch. Get this ready with some water on it. Now we're both hydrated. Okay. I only want to age the image. I don't really want to get it up on the sides here. I think that should do a trick. Let's sit for a minute. I think we're done here. Well, now it's kind of got that aged look to it. All right, I'm going to let that sit for a hot second and dry. And I'm going to take a look at it and see how I feel about it. All right, I'm still going to have to glue down the back and all this, but I think it's done. Are we ready? That's how it came out. You do still see the wrinkle in it, and there's not anything I can do about it. So, lesson learned. I guess with this stuff, you're going to want to take a cool iron and flatten it out if you want a flat surface from it. So my advice is, like, if I do this again and it's going on a drawer front or something like that, I'm going to take a cool iron on low setting and smooth out that crease, because that crease is not going to go away. It's not going to go away no matter how much glue and how much pulling I put on it. I mean, obviously, I can see every single line. So, note to self, if you're going to be using the Redesign paper, I like the paper though. It didn't bubble up. There was a couple little bubble spots, but it wasn't at all like when you use regular tissue paper, because that texture, that woven texture lets it breathe. Doesn't move at all. Doesn't inhibit the air going through it at all. So putting the glue on there and putting this down means the air can escape and there's not as many bubbles. I mean, I had that one little spot, and I think because it didn't actually have a lot of glue underneath there, enough glue. So just make sure you have a nice even layer of glue underneath there before you put it down. And I mean, it's pretty simple to use, but definitely, I mean, look at that crease. Would not take much to take a light iron, you know, and flatten it out. So it doesn't say that on the directions. I wish it had. I wish it had said if you're doing it like that. The nice thing too is it's thicker paper, so that fibrous texture made it easy if I wanted to pull it up a little bit from the glue. It like didn't stay permanently, because like if you take tissue paper, you guys have decoupage, you know what I'm talking about. So you get it slightly off center and you're like, oh, try and pull it up. No, that's going to disintegrate and you're just stuck with it. I did pull this up and it came up and I was like, woo, that's nice. It's like, it's not going to come apart real simple. You know, I mean, if I tore it this way, I'm guessing with the grain, it probably would. Yeah. But like I was laying it out like this. So when I pulled it up, it didn't disintegrate, but that's the tear. You can see the fibers there. Can you see them? Here, dark background, very fibrous, very strong stuff. So I'm not gonna pass judgment on this project. So I'm not gonna say I hate it based off this, or that I don't like it, or that it's not gonna work, because I think it's gonna work, and I think it's gonna work well if I had known to straighten that out. Like if I had known to iron that down, like it wasn't gonna lay flat when I put the glue on it, and you were gonna still see. Let's see. It's hard to see on the camera. You're going to still see the crease lines. Had I known that, like, maybe I don't know. I'm not asleep lately. Maybe that's what it is. But I'm going to reserve judgment till the next project, because I think I am going to try it again. And when I do, I'm going to iron it and I'm going to flatten that bit out, because I feel like it's going to work. And I feel like it's going to work well. I do want to do it again. When I do it again, I want to try it again. I have faith. So thanks for watching, you guys. If you haven't yet got one of your Happy Junkin shirts, don't forget to click the links below. If you would like to join our Vintage Reseller Mastermind group, the links for that are below as well. If you want to send me a Thrift Flip challenge, you can send that to the P.O. box, or anything else you want to send me. Just no creepy mail. And if you'd like to buy me a coffee, because your girl's on half a tank, it's like Patreon without the monthly commitment. Thanks for watching, you guys. Happy chunkin'. Bye!
Visit my blog, peonylanedesigns.com, for more tips, tricks, and inspiration. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon so you'll be notified of new videos. I post every week DIY tutorials and, of course, more Junkin videos.